Heyo everybody, Haku here with my Spring 2026 What I'll Be Watching anime video. I do one of these every season. This one is probably going to be the quickest so far. I'm going to probably run through these pretty quickly. If anybody has been around the channel for a while, you know I've been sick for like the past 2 weeks. So I was going to do this as a stream on Twitch because I can't watch PVs on YouTube, so we could watch the PVs together and decide what to watch. But since I've been sick and since I have so many other long form videos I want to work on right now, I was like, you know what? I will hold back. I'll just watch the PVs on my own like I usually do, and I'll decide what to watch. And coming off such a stacked winter, we have all the things that I watched and I loved what I watched, but also things that I didn't watch, like Fate Strange Fake looks incredible, JJK season 3, Frieren season 2, etc, etc. Because for winter, for me, usually what I do for this is I will watch the PVs and I'll decide on things to give a chance to. But this year, since I am kind of behind on catching up to everything, I was like, I will continue to catch up on anime that I'm behind on, but I will watch 10 things on the week to week. And I stayed with all of those 10 things. I watched them. It was really good. I enjoyed winter a lot. After coming off of that stacked winter, spring is probably the lowest amount of things I said I'd give a chance to in years. Maybe. I think I have less than 30 anime here, maybe less than 25 new anime that I said I'd give a chance to. There are some things that I didn't put here that I marked as yellow, maybe. Like, if people end up recommending them to me, if they end up being like really acclaimed, then I'll be like, okay, maybe I was wrong on my judgment and I can give them a chance. Or things that are like season 4 or season 3 of something I've never watched, and it's like, okay, well, I will not be watching these like as I get to spring 2026 or anything, but if I watch through the series they're a part of, eventually I'll watch them as part of that. But yeah, there's only less than 30, maybe less than 25 that I said I'd give a chance to. And for what I'll watch weekly, I said 10 for winter. I stuck with those 10. They were really good and all. I will review those next week. I'm waiting for one last episode of Jingai Kyoshitsu to come out. I was going to do 10 separate reviews, but I decided I'll shove them together into just one review, or one video where I review all 10 of them. So I'll be doing that, just again for time's sake and everything. But there's only 6 so far that I'm like, I will watch on the week to week. Other than those 6 that I'll watch on the week to week, maybe I'll add another 1 or 2 if it seems really interesting. But generally, not a huge season, I think, for spring. I have things I'm absolutely excited for, but I don't think it's the craziest season we've had in a while. So to actually go through these quickly, Digimon Beat Break, One Piece, and Beastar's final season are things that I'll get to when I get to like spring 2026 and all. Beastars, I love the manga. The anime, for me, I've never been the hugest fan. Beat-Break looks really, really good though, so I'm excited for that. One Piece, of course, I'll be watching as usual. We only have 4 more days, well, 4 days and 19 hours, so I guess 5 days, until we get its return, which means probably, unless it's not until next week, a new opening and ending. And if so, I'll do a reaction video for the new opening and ending, because they've been incredible lately for One Piece. Then we have a couple movies like Hana Rokusho ga Akeru Hini and Fuku Fuku no Chizu, which is a just a online animation that's on YouTube. I think it's only 11 minutes. Paris ni Saka l'Etoile. That is also a movie. These came out in March, so for me, that's kind of more winter, but they're movies. It won't take that long to watch them. I was like, they look good enough. I'll give them a try for sure. As far as Android wa Keiken goes, that's one of the ones I watched weekly for winter, and it had an OVA that came out in March, so I already went ahead and watched that. That'll be part of the series of reviews and all. Niwatori Fighter, I'm a little torn on how I'm feeling. It looks alright. Obviously, it looks weird. It looks quirky. That's kind of one of the big draws for the anime. But it also gives me those vibes where, I don't know, it feels like there's been anime in the past few years that feel like, oh, this Western company will fund it and put it on Adult Swim to be like, oh, look how quirky and weird. It's so different. It's so anime. And those often don't turn out to actually be very good. So I am torn. I don't know how, like, I don't necessarily think that's the situation with this, but I'm not sure. Again, this is one of those that I'll get to when I get to 2026 and all. We have another movie here. This one, the art style was like, sometimes I was like, this doesn't look very good. Sometimes I was like, oh, wow, this looks incredible. So I'll give it a chance when I get here. Now we get to the first of the 6 that I said I will watch on the actual week-to-week. Shunka Shuto Daikosha Haru no Mai. This one, I thought the first episode already came out. It came out a bit early. I thought it was good. It was a good first episode. Didn't like crazy blow me away, but I was definitely emotionally invested. I really want to know more about the world and characters and what happened that we didn't get info on in the first episode. So I'm excited for more. I thought that it was one of the PVs that stuck out to me. Not the one that stuck out most. We'll be getting to it, but yeah, I thought it was good. This is a special for a series, Isekai Cheat Skill, that I said I would watch. Then we have Daikenjo Riddle no Jikan Gyakko. I probably won't end up watching this. All I know is that the episodes are going to be 5 minutes. There is not a ton of info on it. So I was like, I don't really have enough info to say yes or no yet. But when I have enough info, I'll make a decision. Since it's a short form, I think it'll probably end up being a no, especially if it's coming out in 15 hours, nearly 16 hours. And we don't have like any info yet. In that case, it's like, it's not looking too good for it. Then we have season 2 of an anime that I don't fully remember. It's maybe one of those things, though. I said there were some things that I haven't watched the series, but it's on like episode or season like 6 or 7 or something. And I am just like, okay, if I ever watch that series, I'll watch up through it. But this is one of those that if I'm going through 2023 is where I'm at right now to now, and I'm just watching through. Season 1 was something that I had marked to watch, so I just went ahead and marked season 2, and I was like, I can unmark it if I end up dropping season 1 and not finishing season 1. But that's kind of where we are here. And if any of you have been around, you know me, I have a tendency. So for me, this being like only less than 30 or less than 25 anime that I said I'd give a chance to is shocking, because I will say yes to giving a chance to pretty much anything. I give a chance to so many things. And just kind of see how things play out. But even the ones I said I'd give a chance to for spring, there aren't as many that I'm super, super excited for. Like, it does seem like a really meh season. Like, even the ones I said I'd give a chance to, a lot of them seem really meh. So we have another that's just a fantasy romance. Again, it looked good enough for me to go with, I guess. Nigashita sakana wa okikata ga tsuriageta sakana ga okisugita ken. And then Reincarnation no Kaben. I have seen people, at first I watched the PV, I said, okay, yeah, this looks neat, I'll give it a chance. It didn't stick out to me that much, but I had seen people online talking about the Hitler anime and how they like censored the swastikas and stuff, and it's like, if you're making Hitler a character in your Fate type anime, like I feel like the censorship isn't really necessary at this point. Like, it's already a character. But I didn't know that this is what that was just from the PV alone. I didn't have the dots connect until later on that this is what that was. But if it ends up, if people are really talking about it, it seems really good, acclaimed, then maybe I'll give it a chance on the week to week. But as for right now, I'll probably just wait on it. This being kind of a more chill season gives me a chance to catch up, so that I'm not as far behind. We have Mata Korosarata Shimata no Desne Tante-sama. Got a mystery romance. Seemed pretty good. Tensei Shitara Slime Ken Season 4. Of course, I'll be continuing Tensura. I really, really like it. Snowball Earth was, I guess, similar to that movie I mentioned. Snowball Earth's PV, I started off thinking, this doesn't look all that good. I'll probably skip it. But then it kept going, and some of the sequences look really good, so I just ended up really torn. Like, sometimes it just didn't look very good, sometimes it looked amazing, so I was like, you know what, I'll give it a chance, I'll see where it goes. We have Yuruma-kun Season 4, I love Yuruma-kun. I'm about to start Season 3, I think. I watched the PV for this, though, and there was a lot of Elisabetta, so I am excited to see more Elisabetta, that'd be nice. The next that I will watch on the week to week, Akane Banashi. I read the first chapter, at least, of the manga, maybe even more than the first chapter, but not very much. Back when I was doing Jump Week. I don't know if the video of me reacting to it ever made it to the channel for Jump Week, but I did read at least the very, very beginning of the manga, and it's something that I'm familiar with, it's something that I've heard of a bit, which is why I decided, you know, I'll give it a chance on the week to week. It's something with a bit of name recognition behind it. Yomi no Tsugai looked great. That was a good-looking PV. It's by the same mangaka that did Full Metal Alchemist, I believe, and it looks really good. I am very excited for this one. Definitely doing that on the week-to-week. The next on the week-to-week, Nippon Sangoku, I had not heard of, but it had probably the best PV. Like, its PV made me, the second PV specifically, the most recent one, looked so good. I was like, I really want to give this a chance on the weekly. This looks great. This looks so good. So this is kind of, all of the rest are mostly things like that I said I would watch on the week to week, are mostly things I'd kind of heard of, or things that looked really good immediately. I mean, this looked really good immediately too. But this is something that I had absolutely never heard of before watching these PVs, and was just blown away. Like, it was probably my favorite PV. So definitely Nippon Sangoku I'll watch on the weekly. We have Maho no Shimai Luluto Lily, Studio Pierrot going back to these Maho no insert thing here magical girl shows. I am excited for this. I'm not going to watch it on the week to week, but when I get to 2026, I will. I've been watching Minky Momo recently, and it's so good. Minky Momo is like really fun. And I, like, as I'm going through 80s stuff and then into 90s stuff, I'm going to be going through these, like, Pierrot magical girl anime. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a shot. We then have Jiso Akiyaku Reijona Gonyakusha no Kansatsu Kiroku. This is another one of these villainous reincarnation otome game anime. This has to be, people talk about isekai being oversaturated. This, at this point, is this the most common form of isekai? It's got to be close to it. The otome villainous reincarnation, we have like one or two of these every single season, it seems like. So we have yet another one of these, but it looked good enough to give a chance to. Then we have Tonkariboshi no Atelier, which at Atelier, it is something that the PV looked good, but even before going into the PV, I knew I wanted to give it a chance, just because it's something that I've heard people praising for a very long time, people be excited for a very long time. So with that in mind, I definitely want to give it a fair chance. Marriage Toxin, I adore the manga. I love Marriage Toxin. Again, if I hadn't been sick, I would have probably been caught up by now. I really want to catch up to the manga, because I'm months behind at this point. I love Marriage Toxin, though. I really love it. So I cannot wait to see what happens with the anime. For me, I have a tendency to be a bit of a manga Andy. I have a tendency to judge anime adaptations a little bit harshly when I'm such a huge fan of the source material, but hopefully I will be impressed. I really, like, you know, even though it's not likely to get something like that, I was just like, I really hope they do some sort of Chainsaw Man-esque over-the-top adaptation. We're not getting that, but we're getting Bones, which is so much better than it could be. Once again, I've been burned on so many bad adaptations of things that I really love, but I think that I'm pretty optimistic for this and excited to see where it goes. So yeah, really hopeful for Marriage Toxin. Then we have Otaku ni Yasashi Garu wa Inai. It looked good. It looked fine. I thought it looked good enough to give a chance to, like, a lot of these, but like I mentioned before, a bunch of these, other than the 6 that I'm watching on the week to week, a bunch of these didn't excite me too much. Like, I'm willing to like give them a chance, be proven wrong by something being great. But yeah, spring just didn't excite me that much, and it's crazy coming off of such a stacked winter. And we have other things coming in summer and fall that I'm really excited for, other things that I love that are getting adaptations this year. We have Kujima Utayaba Ie Hororo. This looks really good. This looks really cute. I liked the PV for this. I think this is going to be a really cute one. Then we have Kamina Botan Yoru Sugata wa Yuri no Hana. Which is this? This is Girls Love. Okay. I remember the PV now. Yeah, it seemed a little on the blander side, honestly, but it's Girls Love, comedy, slice of life, all things that I enjoy, so I'm going to give it a shot, see what we end up with. Yowa Yowa Sensei is an ecchi comedy, seems pretty cute. It didn't seem too over the top or anything, so I'm interested. I am definitely interested. This one is titled a comedy ecchi, Ichijoma Mankitsu Gurashi, but it really just seemed like a normal slice of life to me from the PV. The PV seemed pretty chill, pretty low-key. I didn't think it even seemed like an ecchi, really, so I'm cool giving it a chance, unless I'm misremembering. I'm cool giving it a chance, seeing what it's like, but again, you know, we don't really get like ecchi that often anymore. Like, it's either these shorts that, I mean, speaking of it, Android Wakeiken, these shorts, like short form series that are nearly just hentai, basically just hentai, or it's just so bland, spiceless. It's rare to get like a really good ecchi these days, it feels like, but I'll give it a shot, see what we get. Tsue to Tsurugi no Wistoria, second season of something that, you know, I'll get to the first season before I get to here. Then Kuroneko Tomajo no Kyoshitsu. This one looked pretty good. They had some weird stuff going on with the PV where I was like, hold on a second, what? Does it say it in the... Yeah, but the key to breaking the curse is kissing his, and they showed a lot of cat balls. Is she going to be kissing cat balls? What is this about? But it looked tight. It looked pretty good. And then lastly, we have Boku no Hero Academia, the final episode, final season, final chapter of final episodes, pulling a bit of an Attack on Titan with us there. And it's going to be an adaptation of chapter 431. And here is my potentially hot take that I think should maybe be a very, very cold take. I think that this should have been part of just the final season when it aired. I don't think that this should have been saved for an OVA or anything, because it's such a better ending. Like, not to spoil the manga for any of you, but I think that chapter 431 is such a better ending than 430. Like, 430 just does not feel complete without 431 now that we have 431. 431 feels like it should have been the ending. It should have been the ending as it was week to week in Shonen Jump, but then 431 didn't come out until later, and it's like, you know, my hot take, it shouldn't have waited to come out later. That should have been the final chapter. It's such a better final chapter in my opinion. So again, still my hot take here is this should have just been the final episode as it was airing, not saved to be an extra final episode later. That is my potentially hot take on it, because I really think 431 is great. But either way, that's where we are. Again, maybe the shortest one of these videos going through these. Not an absolute ton. But the 5 that I'll be talking about on the week to week, that I'll be watching on the week to week, if you want to talk with me anywhere about them, are going to be the 4 Seasons Agents one. Oh my god, trying to scroll. Akane Banashi, Yomi no Tsugai, Nippon Sangoku, Tongari Boshi no Atelier, and Marriage Toxin. They're going to be what I'm doing on the weekly. If any of you want to suggest anything else that you want me to give a chance to, suggest anything else you want me to watch on the week to week, go for it. I'll maybe give it a try. But yeah, I guess that's where we are for spring. Next week I'll have the review of the 10 things I watched in winter coming, and I guess that's it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video. Comment down there to tell me what you thought of this week's, well, it's not a weekly thing, this season's anime decisions. What do you want me to watch? What are you going to be watching? Any thoughts on what I decided? Hopefully this could help serve as recommendations to you as well. Subscribe for much more anime, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Also, sorry for my voice. I feel like I'm kind of forcing it. I have been sick for over 2 weeks, and I feel better enough, but my voice is still like a struggle right now. If you want to help support the channel by sharing around or dropping a super thanks, it's appreciated. If you want to help support the channel, get One Piece Bingo early, get your name at the end of videos, and, you know, just help support the channel, hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description. Thank you so much to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, the D-Ban and Maru, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, S.G. and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pater Dial, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.